Big news regarding the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the TPP, from last week. Politico reports that top trade officials from the US, Canada, and 10 other Pacific Rim nations fell short of concluding the TPP on Friday. The reason was differences over agricultural, automotive, and pharmaceutical industry negotiations. They do say, quote, significant progress has been made. A quote from U.S. Trade Representative Michael Froman, we're confident that TPP is within reach. We've agreed that we are going to continue to engage intensively with the goal of resolving the outstanding issues. So it's unlikely that last Friday's failure alone is really going to hold back the eventual passage of TPP, but every day that we have a delay, the longer it takes to complete this, the longer it takes to schedule a vote in Congress, the greater chance that TPP will become an issue for 2016. Now, remember that Hillary Clinton, for example, as we reported, 45 times as Secretary of State pushed TPP, but most recently she said, quote, the president should listen to and work with his allies in Congress, starting with House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, who have expressed their concerns about the impact that a weak agreement would have on our workers. So initially making many dozens as Secretary of State pro-TPP comments, and then saying something that, while not outright anti-TPP, certainly says we should really be thinking carefully about this thing. If this becomes a bigger issue for the 2016 candidates, both on the Republican side and on the Democratic side, it is going to make things very interesting. On the Democratic side, it will be because of this Hillary Clinton situation. We know about Bernie Sanders on TPP. We will be putting Hillary Clinton potentially in a position to be more definitive about it. On the Republican side, I think it'll be interesting because a lot of these Republicans, it's abundantly clear, know almost nothing about TPP. I'm sure that they can very quickly be advised to come up with some talking points about it, but it is also going to be interesting on that side. So as of this failure on Friday, number one, the date of the next meeting was not immediately announced. We know that the TPP, broadly speaking, hugely benefits the banksters. It hugely benefits mega corporations. It hugely benefits pharmaceutical companies, particularly through the very, very overreaching intellectual property and copyright guidelines that TPP would put in place. It does not benefit people. And this is what everybody needs to understand. And I continue to be shocked and entirely appalled, but also not that surprised, given the context of the last 10 or 20 years politically in the United States, that too many people don't even know what TPP is. I was recently with a group of people, some of whom I knew well, some of whom I didn't, and only a couple people in the group had even heard of TPP. Part of that is because corporate media has no real incentive to report about TPP. We can't really expect to hear about it from them. And then part of it is because there is not this sort of sense that something like TPP is the type of thing that people should be protesting, and that could not be further from the truth. TPP is something that will impact so many people in so many countries, in such a great portion of our planet, and we hear very little about it from corporate media. We see very little understanding of it from many of the average U.S. citizens. We're going to continue talking about it. Talk about it to anybody who will listen. People need to be informed about this.